Because we're gonna do it again. Oh man. Take number 3. What's up, guys? This is going to be a pretty. Oh, now I'm thinking way too much about this intro. Anyways, we're sitting here in March, and our last episode was filmed in January, and we are going to film us going through all the issues that we had in the podcast 1 and 2, and then fixing them, because we are insecure about our knowledge and what we've said in the past.
Well, we just want to set the record straight on things. Like we don't need misinformation going out in the world more than what already exists. So,
yeah, and essentially we found a bunch of issues with episodes 1 and 2 that we are not comfortable just leaving to simmer out in the wild without any more context other than, well, the context that's hugely missing is we were speaking with authority back then, and now we're reeling it back, and we got to speak with humility, learning, and with a sense of, well, grace, not only for you, but grace for ourselves. Like right now, we're super early in our Bible journey, our podcast journey, and our learning. The main thing is learning, and this podcast will help identify a bunch of flags that we had in podcast 1 and 2, and then course correct, because that's how we learn. So,
yep. All right. Well, what do we got?
Yeah, I guess. I was trying to figure out how to insert the story, but really, this is episode 1, and maybe that story will come up. We're still early, so that story could come back up eventually. So, podcast 1, if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It's pretty good. We talk about, we're 5 days before our wedding, and we talk about a whole bunch of stuff leading up to that point. And we got some things, that we shot from the hip a little bit, and let's see. One of them was on spirits.
Yeah.
So we were talking about spiritual warfare and how that affects us, how that's defined. We didn't really define it.
Well, I think that was part of the problem, is I guess we didn't clarify what we meant when we refer to like spirits, right? In that context. So we just wanted to clarify that point, right? And so when we talk about those things, we're referring more so to specifically like evil spirits from the evil one, right? Like his little like demons, or his ill doing is what we mean by that.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't like a big flag. There are bigger flags that are going to come up. I think we should like do a speed run of episode 1, because most of our biggest flags were in episode 2. So yeah, we used spirits loosely in the spiritual conversation. What we're learning is the Catholic teaching is specific on fallen angels, demons, not being part of just the general spiritual realm.
Yeah.
And essentially that's what we learned. We got to be more precise on, well, how we talk about spirits and demons.
Yeah.
Because They're just two different categories, I believe. Anyways, flag number 2. This is pretty hard, but I mean, this is like a Protestant view that I messed up on. A lot of these flags were on me, so I think we identified that when we went through this list
It's okay.
a little bit.
To be fair, you're a lot more vocal about your opinions than me. And if I shared all my opinions, you guys would catch me on being wrong on a lot of things too. So
Yeah, I'm just excited to do all of this, and I think it was clear that, well, whoever sees the energy,
yeah.
we're excited to do this.
Yeah.
We're excited to call ourselves out because we don't want anyone else calling us out.
And if they do, whatever, it's fine. But like more so we want to hold ourselves accountable. And that's how we're going to continue learning and growing. Because like you can spew out whatever you want to spew out all day and think you're right. But like if you're not checking yourself or have someone else who's checking you, I mean, how are you going to continue growing?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, this flag, it's a soft flag, but it's a hard frame because I was speaking from a Protestant lens, which I didn't know before, months ago. But the Protestant lens, they win when a Catholic calls the Catechism the rule book, and I think that was super wrong. Well, now, no, I know it's super wrong now.
Yeah.
And because one, that's just not what it is. It's what we believe. It's a book of what we believe and why we believe it. Not a rule book. It's a roadmap. There's a big difference. Okay, that's what I defined in my notes here. What AI helped me define. But point number 2. Although I have never opened the catechism, I still believe in it. And from that point of view, that's where I humble myself. Like next time, maybe you should not just don't talk about the catechism at all because you haven't even opened it. And I'm not saying you're one of those people if you're you're Catholic, but I'm just saying there's a lot of Catholics out there that are probably in the same boat because I'm one of them, and I know how Catholics are.
Well, not only that, I mean, like, let's be real. Like, not many people take the time to read, go straight to the source. Like, how many people have read the Constitution of the United States? Like, I guarantee you, vast majority of Americans have not. So it's one of those things, right? But yeah, catechism in a year is coming up next once we get done with Bible in a year. That's on our list. Yeah.
If you don't know, I mean, this episode 3, well, just to put it out there, keep on continuing to talk. Bible in the year is in progress. I'm on day 99. I'm in Gospel of John. You are on day like 150.
Yeah, 150 something. Right now, I am in the reign of Solomon and learning about him. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, it's all good.
And the Book of Wisdom. There's a word for it, but I can't pronounce it. I'm going to butcher it. It starts with an E, but I'm in that chapter.
Is it like Greek or like in Hebrew?
I don't know. I think it's English, but like I just can't pronounce it. But yeah, it's a bunch of really good, wise words of wisdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been good. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, so many side stories. I mean, before I reel it back in, the Bible in the year, I'm doing it right now. This will be the first book I will finish since like high school. I haven't fully read a book. I think I fully read one book, How to Influence Friends and Others, or whatever that book was. And then that started my journey of buying books and never reading them. Anyways, reeling it back in. Flag number 3 of episode 1. Our previous marriage that we planned was not a true marriage in God's eyes. So, I don't know. This is a soft flag. I say soft. AI said hard.
Well,
I made a sweeping statement that if you get married on a mountain outside of the church, it's not a true marriage in the eyes of God. It's just not a true marriage in the catechism and in the Catholic lens.
But even within the Catholic lens, they still acknowledge that even if you get married outside of the church, you are still legally married. Like, that's a legit marriage. It's just, it's not a Catholic marriage.
Because there's no sacraments on a mountain.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try. We even tried, like, thinking about bringing a priest to the mountains. Like, hey, yo, can you marry us? Like, no, that's not how the New Testament works.
No, and it has to be done in the church, right? Because, you're doing it in front of the altar, which is where Jesus lives. So, yeah, it makes sense from that lens. But to the point, when we made that statement, it wasn't to, like, diminish or make people feel like if they weren't married in the church, then they're not actually married, because that came out wrong. That's not what we were trying to say.
Yeah, and going to the next point, convalidation, we framed it as a workaround to like fixing your marriages or fixing your untrue marriages. And it just goes back to the point where, I mean, you have to go through the process of convalidation in the Catholic faith.
Yeah.
Your marriage is valid, very, very valid in other faiths, for sure. But just not in Catholic lens.
Well, and then also, I think when we commented on, how we didn't want to do convalidation. But for us, and everyone's different, right? Like, there's a reason why convalidation exists. And for those who don't know what the heck that word means, it means basically it's when individuals were married outside of the church and they want their marriage to now be acknowledged as a sacrament within the Catholic faith. And so that's the process to get that done. And there's different reasons why people may need convalidation. For us, it just wasn't a good fit because it was more so the fact of, like, us trying to be slick with God, right? Because we already knew that if we continued on the trajectory we were on, we were doing the opposite of what the catechism calls for and what our faith calls for. Okay. So that's like
the sin versus a grave
basically
sin.
Like it's basically like you're sinning because you're manipulating, you're lying, you're saying, oh no, I'm doing this, but you know better, but you're still doing it regardless. Like, that's very different than people might be in situations where, like, life changes in the future and, they got married outside of the church, but they didn't know. They didn't know that they wanted to be married in the church. Or, I don't know, things change for people. But for us, we just know that if we were to have done that and then been like, oh, but we're doing it with the intent of we know we can, get convalidated later. For us, it just wasn't sitting right spiritually. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, and for anybody out there too, you can't plan your convalidation. That is the wrongness of this whole conversation. You plan your marriage the right way. And you don't do it, the way that you're not supposed to, and then plan to fix it later.
Yeah.
It's not how this works.
Yeah. Ideally, it's just ideal if you can do things one way and just follow the path that is meant to be followed, basically.
Yeah. The key thing is convalidation is very valid, but the planned use of band-aiding, secular marriage. It's don't do that. Flag 5, walk away forever. I caught myself saying walk away forever in the episode and half corrected it. I didn't land. The Catholic teaching is clear. God's mercy isn't conditional on one decision. The door is never permanently closed. That's actually the entire point of confession, the sacramental life. One moment doesn't seal your fate. I don't even know what this means.
I think with that, and take this stuff with a grain of salt, you guys, because literally at this point, we're just like feeding our transcript into AI.
Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't. This is our third take. We didn't define what we were doing here. So if you're intrigued, cool. I mean, I kind of put it in our conversations. So if you're pissed off by now, all right. But if you like and you're intrigued of what we're doing, I have my phone out. So podcast 1 and 2 took the transcript of those, put it into Claude. We realized that's a secular AI. We found a Catholic AI, which was really cool. We've been using it for like a month now, and it's like 10 for 10 on everything we throw at it. It's like dialed in on the Bible, dialed in on the catechism, dialed in on like tens of thousands of different reports and documents of the Catholic faith. And so we're taking the transcript of the transcript from Claude, putting it into Magisterium.
This is not an ad, but yes.
No, I like using these. They don't pay us to say this.
No,
is so sick. I think it's really sick because we're learning at a faster rate than if we were to. All right, take the frickin' Bible here. Let's put it right next to the catechism, and then this document, and then this document. It's like we're not in the
Google for Catholics. It's like Catholic answers, but like based off of the source itself.
Yeah. And just to like insert something else, we're clearly talking to everybody older than us because I know whoever's younger than us right now are either super old school, keep it that way, you guys are awesome, or they're just young and they're like miles ahead of us. They're using agents and stuff with Bibles and I can't even comprehend, but the younger people, they're probably laughing at us right now.
That's fine. I'm a proud millennial. Is that what they call us? Millennial?
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, very easily mistaken with boomer when we're talking like this. Oh, look at this AI thing that I just figured out. Anyways, 10 for 10. I would recommend. If you don't like it, you're probably gone already. But if you're still here, awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The next flag. Obsessing over something is not a sin. This is soft, incomplete moral theology. So I said obsessing becomes sinful only when it damages you or your relationships. It's almost there. It's not complete. Catholic moral theology has the concept of disordered attachment. Things become sinful when they displace God in your interior life before they do any external damage. So I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, most of my flags are blanket statements that we have to just go through. There's like 4 more. I had an incomplete Genesis claim. Yeah, note to self, I will not make any quotes to the Bible because I am way too early to be quoting the Bible. I'm way too early to be doing any of this, but we're still doing it. And we want to show you that it is possible to learn.
Wow.
And
you're not the only one. Remember, I butchered my Martha and Mary reference. I got them mixed up and I knew I was going to do that.
Well, that's episode 4. We're not even,
spoiler alert.
Talking about episodes 1 and 2. Anyways, yeah. Incomplete Genesis claim. And then some minor flags. I don't know anything disclaimer. Well, yeah. I'm kind of just leveling with the audience and with you here. That, like, yeah, I know things, but obviously don't take that with a grain of all of these with a grain of salt. I think
we're not theologians. We're not claiming to be.
Yeah.
Like, please still do your due diligence. Talk to your priest.
I'm not even going to tell you to do that.
Well, like, I just don't want people
don't watch us.
listening to us and like taking it as the word. You know what I mean? Like that's not our intent.
That's worst case scenario.
That's not our intent.
You do that a lot, but that's fine. Like, I think people know. But if you're in that worst case scenario, then hang out, because that's wrong and we're wrong. We're just in the wrong camp.
We're just learning.
Yeah.
We're learning.
Yeah, just blanket statements. 99% of guys struggle with something that rhymes with corn. Yeah, obviously, yeah. 99% that's not a true statistic. Obviously, I think.
Well, but I think people hopefully they would know, like, if you do like a crazy statistic like that, then obviously you're just like over exaggerating. Like, I feel like as humans, we all do that when we're talking.
Yeah, and that's the grace we have to give ourselves, because essentially when I get nervous, I do tend to over exaggerate, make blanket statements, and just to get my point across, I would do those things.
Yeah.
And to keep the conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
I really like keeping the conversation going, but I really don't know a lot. And I feel like in this realm, you know a lot more than me, because you retain information more than me, and I need AI to help me. Like, what happened here?
Yeah, I don't know about that, but
all right, we're getting to marital stuff here.
Yeah.
And then we dropped like Jonah moments without explaining what is a Jonah moment. I thought we defined it, but
I thought we did too.
Essentially,
but maybe not.
Yeah, essentially a Jonah moment is what we found out. You dreamt of Jonah. You had a specific question for God that you were wrestling with a little bit. And at the end of that day, you found Jonah and said, and essentially the verse said, kind of just have faith in God. And that was kind of your answer.
I wish I remember the exact like verse that I came upon, but that specific little clip-it that I came across. Clip-it? Is that a word?
I don't know.
Well, the specific little bit that I came across, the summary of it was basically just saying to have faith.
Yeah.
So anytime we have moments, I guess we can call them like God moments. They don't have to be Jonah moments, but we just say Jonah because it reminds us of that one instance where we felt like God was speaking to us.
No, it's totally a Jonah moment, because you dreamt of Jonah. Someone was yelling Jonah in your dream, and then like you had questions that whole week of, hey, like, am I supposed to be questioning God like this? Am I supposed to be having these types of questions? And then the Jonah verse was saying, yes, it's okay. Just like have faith that, have more confidence in your faith. I think that was. No. Well, we got some homework to do.
I think it just said, basically, have faith.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got some homework to do. Maybe AI can figure it out for us. Yeah. All right. We got through episode 1. Woo! Episode 2, flags. This is where it's really important to get this right. So I kind of just conflated, over summarized the gospel that our priest was that our priest surprised us with.
Yeah.
Essentially, I butchered it. I said our gospel was about the story of John, and the point was to love one another as I have loved you and your neighbor. I was combining two different points. John has the point of love one another as I have loved you. That's the new commandment. And then separately at the Last Supper, it's not love thy neighbor, the great commandment from Matthew. That's essentially I combine those two things. I'm trying to get through these notes. They don't make sense because of freaking AI. But if we review back to our episode, it was, I remember I was like, the gospel was love thy neighbor as you would treat yourself and
we're married
your friend.
less than not even 2 months, and you already forgot our wedding day.
No, that was we forgot it that episode. This is fixing number 2.
I know. I'm saying, sorry. Yeah, was it? Yeah.
They don't see that. We have an ant problem.
We do. We have an ant problem. But no, yeah, I'm saying like you're fixing it now, but like back then, like that was just after the wedding, and you forgot. But
right after
the wedding, you already forgot the gospel of our wedding.
I know. Well, it didn't land. It was love thy neighbor. It was the commandment. It was the story of the commandment. Love thy neighbor.
No.
As I have loved you.
Yeah.
I have the note here. AI was correct on this one.
Yeah. You got it now. But
no, that was unfortunate because we did that episode like a week after our wedding or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that had to be set. I said the gospel wrong. Cool. I'm in John now. Great. I'm going to review it now. Flag number 2, Job was mischaracterized. So I think this is low-hanging fruit. I think I was over summarizing Job as well. And then also what I'm trying to remember without looking at AI. I characterized Job as losing his identity, just losing a whole bunch of things that he didn't actually lose through his struggles. Now I have to look. I said he lost his influence, but he didn't. He didn't lose his influence over anybody, really. He lost a bunch of different things, tangible things, his children, livestock, servants, and his health. Influence was not one of those because his friends kept on coming back, even though his friends were kind of wrestling with him too. It's like, yo, like,
yeah,
what have you done? Yeah. You had to have done something wrong to be in this position.
Yeah, they were like turning the cards back on him.
But I mean, I think that was just one story. I think that's where we have to dive a little bit deeper. I don't know if his friends actually believed him.
From what I can recall, I don't think they really.
No, I don't think so either.
Believed him. They just kept kind of going back to like, you got to think harder, basically. Like, what you did something. You did something for this misfortune to happening to you.
Yeah, the details get kind of blurry, but we all know, or if you don't, you know now, the ending of Job is not all of his questions are answered by not a what, not a when, but by a who. And I'm not talking about who. I'm talking about who, what person.
It's a boomer joke.
The answer is God. Anyways, flag number 3. Oh, what is this? So the ages of Genesis and early age people.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also essentially just also summarize this too much as well. I used it in the wrong sense. Anyways, these notes are terrible. I picked up the wrong notes, but we're still gonna go through it because I remember this too. We're gonna go off by memory. I said like people are just like 500 years old, da 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 da, like
Yeah.
and just over summarizing how old people actually were back then. But
Yeah.
we're missing the context of who the author was. Well, we don't know who the author was back then, but who they were writing to. I know this for sure is they were writing in the context of teaching the people of that time what happened in the early ages. It says in the Bible too not to take Genesis so seriously as well.
Yeah, it does.
So like why do we have this conversation that Adam was actually 900 years old? He was not.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. Feel like you have anything else to add?
Not really. Not really. Because I mean, yeah, I feel like the flag that AI gave us on that, it was, again, it's like, to me, it's kind of silly when, like, they put the flags on the numerical stuff because, like, in the context that we're talking about those things, it's not like we're trying to give the exact specific statistics and dates. Like, we're just talking in like general terms,
Yeah, but it's a slippery slope because like you can't oversimplify things and then all of a sudden like the message gets wrong. That's
Yeah.
classic
Game
case of telephone. Yeah, exactly.
of
What? We thought of the same thing? Yeah. So but I feel like that's the most important thing about the Bible because there's so many authors.
Yeah.
It's the most documented documented book in the history of time and like translated very carefully across different languages. And it's the most important book of all time. And I'm glad I'm finally reading it because
Yeah.
shoot.
I'm glad we are too. What else you got?
So we also oversimplified Jonah in episode 2 as well. We oversimplified Luther. So
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah, I feel like the whole Luther little drop. Really, we should probably just do another episode. Just on teasing that apart more, maybe.
yeah, because I feel like we're in the transition of we're still in we're Catholics 200%, but we are still in the transition of flushing out everything that we've absorbed from different cultures, different different branches of Christianity, most importantly any Protestant ideation out there. No matter how hard we're saying we're Catholics, it's going to take a lot of time, probably years, for us to nail this down. And we're trying to just kind of hang out with you guys saying, hey, it's okay to be wrong. Because there's too much information out there. We're trying to make sense of our truth with the Lord. And our truth is there's still a lot of false in us. And I think that's really important to have grace with. I mean, we're steering away from the script here, but I think it's super important to say and have that grace, even if it's repetitive. I mean, the book of Psalms is all about repetition. And there's something to say about that type of poetry. So fucking nail it in your head. The songwriters back then are you're gonna praise the Lord. Or are you going to praise the Lord?
A lot of the Psalms were written by David.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there yet. I don't know anything.
Yeah. He wrote a lot of
Just
them.
kidding.
He was a very big songwriter. Psalm writer.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting that there was a play on words to the English language, like psalm kind of rhymes with song.
Yeah.
Like Eminem rhymes, like, orange, door hinge, psalm, song. They're not like grammatically rhyming, but the Eminem rhyming.
Well,
for
be
sure.
careful. Don't mention his name too much. We don't want to get sued.
I don't know. I used to love that music. I don't know about now. I'm trying to stay away from bad mouthing music nowadays and angry music.
Yeah.
Speaking of Protestants, I can speak this from the heart. I mentioned George Janko and other different Protestants too much in the past episodes.
Yeah.
You'll probably see this in episodes like 3 and 4. I think we recorded episode 5 and I already addressed it. But spoiler alert, yeah, I address, and I was watching a lot of George Janko back then, and I have no problem with him. I'd like to meet him, but I think I gave him too much credit back then. And I think that needs to be addressed here on this Catholic podcast, that I know now the difference between a Protestant and a Catholic.
Maybe. I'm just kidding.
For sure. I mean, at least the main points, because like this whole journey with also, well, one, with research, and two, researching with AI is super important to me because, well, I don't know where to start. And I know AI is wrong like half the time, but I know when it's right, especially when we put it through a Catholic other app. But anyways, my starting point with comparing Protestants and Catholics is like super important because I'm 33 years old. I never searched that question. I have a bad tendency of jumping into the dark with all faith.
That's not a bad tendency. That's a beautiful thing. And I think you shouldn't like belittle yourself on that aspect, because a lot of us, like, struggle with just having blind faith. And that's not one of your struggles at all. Like, so.
How do you think we started this podcast?
Yeah.
I was terrified of this podcast today, despite me telling you this episode I meant. I was terrified of this episode earlier today, despite of me saying, just keep it cool. We got this, just like yesterday, 12 hours ago. So,
wow.
That was saying something, because I'm a strong believer of trying to take the steps towards the friction, take the steps towards what you are most scared of.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone. If there's anything I learned in my 30s, in my 20s, I was way too comfortable. I feel like we're kind of comfortable now, which is why we're doing what we're doing. Anyways, yeah. Do I have to address what the difference between a Protestant and a Catholic is? No, but I know that the more that I research this and plant this in my brain, then I will grow more. Like, the number one reason why we wrestle with each other is the belief in the Eucharist.
Yeah.
And maybe the number 2 is the belief of Mary and the communion of saints.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many. The list is very massive, but those two I think that are the most important.
Yeah.
There are obviously really important ones, but those two come to mind right now. Is
that. Well, if anyone's ever interested, I mean, like literally every mass when we proclaim our faith, you know, everything that we're saying in that is like summarizing basically our
Yeah.
beliefs and our faith.
Yeah. The Nicene Creed,
Mm-hmm.
the Apostles' Creed. Very similar, but
Yeah, it's slightly different. Yeah.
used in different seasons.
Yeah.
So cool. I suppose that's it.
All right.
AI wants us to tell the audience what we got right.
What we got right? Okay.
So
We can do a little kudos.
the confession before the wedding. I mentioned this in passing, and I kind of just like I never touched up on it, but I think that was like one of the most important things I could do on a whim
Yeah.
during that day. Like there was everything. When my buddy told me to do it, I said internally, I don't want to do that. I don't want to burden our priest with one more task. I don't want to go through the effort of doing this in front of all my people. And then something just kind of, I didn't have a moment, but I just said, screw it. Let's see what happens. Ask the priest. Yeah, let's do it now. We did it. Very short, very brief, but we did it. And just the act was like I think we could have given that moment a little bit more power in the previous episode.
Yeah.
We kind of just moved on very, very quickly. But I think reconciliation with God is like very important.
Yeah.
It's a sacrament.
It is. And it's never too late. Like, never too late. So.
And then following your pre-ceremony prayer with Kylie, that was cool. That's important. That was the best you could do for the circumstances, because the confession room was on one side of the church, right next to the guys' room, and then the girls were stuck in a storage locker unit on the other side, and the priest was hanging out with the guys and not with the girls. Did he ever say hi, like pop in?
Oh my goodness. I don't even remember. I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. Do what you can to talk to God right before you get married, because we probably did that at the same time.
Maybe.
So, the family conflict at the restaurant. Yeah, you led prayer to mitigate kind of a blow up scene. I think that was super important.
Yeah.
That was huge. Yeah, I kind of didn't take it. For me, my mistake was I didn't help you grieve. Not like you had to grieve right after, but at least understand the situation more to help the situation. But at that point, the deeds were done.
No, I think, for the time being, it was the best possible outcome. And, update, everyone's okay now. Like, they've reconciled amongst each other, which is good. But no, I mean, I think like it was fine. I did what I felt like I needed to do in the moment, which was lead us in prayer and, just try to cast away any evil spirits or, fallen angels that were trying to, influence the situation. Just bring God back into it.
Yeah, that was huge. Speaking of bringing God back into the situation, What was your conclusion of the glass tipping over and getting pulled away from Grandma?
What do you mean the conclusion?
Well, yeah, I asked that rhetorically. I thought you thought that was like bad demons, but
Oh,
you
no.
said
No.
it was more of a happy moment.
Yeah.
I thought it was something bad directed at
No.
you because you also found the glass shard in your butt.
Yeah, that was weird.
But
no.
You said it should be tied into more goodness of the situation, of that happening right after the toast.
Well, the way, and maybe I wasn't clear enough, but no, after that, when that situation happened, my grandma didn't feel sad in a way of like a bad way. She felt a sense of relief, as though something bad had been broken, if that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like a bad omen or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Like, I don't want to get too much into the nitty gritty of that because, like, then we're just being superstitious and stuff. But yeah, that's how she had expressed what she felt in that moment.
Yeah, I don't want to give it too much power over us, but it is a moment to hold on to, keep in our back pocket.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, it's interesting, like, definitely strange, you know? But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we can't clearly define this was the act of God because we weren't in prayer or anything.
No, it was a toast, and I think it was being given by my godmother, and I can't remember now if she was giving me blessings in the toast as well or not. But knowing her, she usually blesses when she's talking.
Yeah, it came from your godmother too.
Yeah. So I think that in of itself too is like interesting. But
I can't bring it over the 50-60% mark. What I can do in contrast is 90% sure this was an act of God is when I prayed to find my keys. That story.
Yeah.
Because I just came out of prayer and split second I found them. But like I hold on to that too, but I don't give that. Well, obviously I don't give power over myself because after that, throughout college, I didn't really steer toward God. I was kind of like, I was my own secular being until now, a year ago. I still call that now. But yeah, oh, exactly. What we exactly talked about. AI's applauding us for leaving superstitions on the side and don't leave those doors open.
Yeah.
By not giving them too much power.
Yeah. If it's not from God, I don't want it.
Nope. Unless it's a baby.
Babies are from God.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Lamborghini, but then I'm like, no, that's also idling. That's I just spit out something to keep the conversation going.
See? And this is an example of what you were talking about. Yeah. All right, I think now it's cut. You're cut.
No, I still have that tendency because, like, if I don't know something, I still like, all right, I'm just gonna throw something out there, see if it sticks. Oh, it didn't? All right, sorry. Clean it up. On to the next one.
All right. Well, It's been a good one. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed going through this with us.
Yeah. essentially what I landed on, I think I can say it now, is
No, he's back.
well, the quote that I kind of made up with my brainstorming was like, we're doing our thing with God, whether people like it or not. But regardless of that, people are still going to come with spreadsheets and balance and check what we're doing and judge us for it. So it doesn't really matter what we do.
Yeah.
We just got to be right with God and
Yeah.
make sure we're doing our own spreadsheet on ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always going to be people out there criticizing anything you do in life. So if you're going to do something in life, you know, just do it for you and do it for, you know, for God. Good job.